What's up, everybody? I'm a girl with the horse tattoo, and today we're doing another video to card part 2. I hope you guys are excited. All right, so if you don't know, we're gonna start from youngest to oldest. I'm a girl with the horse tattoo. Then we have Alan. What's
How are
up?
you?
How you feeling? I'm
Feeling good. I got my garb on. I'm ready.
All right.
And
then next to my right, we have AJ. And then we have Adrian.
Hello, greetings everyone. My name is Adrian. You can follow me at Adri Affinity on all platforms.
You better promote yourself. Promote. And then if you haven't not noticed, in the building we have Maydell Clarice.
That's me.
And you guys are back because you liked the first video. So if you haven't watched it yet, go over now. Stop, press pause. Go over now and watch card part 1. Thank you for everybody that liked and commented in the section below. And thank you for returning for part 2. All right, so we don't know what the results are. You guys are here because this is reveal part 2. We have the results. We have all of us are here. King stage to praise, and we're going to be talking about why is it important to have a complete background history, not just from the matriarch side, but from trying to find the tribe on the patriarch side. Why is it important to do part 2? Why is it important to have a complete both sides? Why does it matter? Why can we not just settle for just knowing the matriarch side? Please let us know what your thoughts are.
Well, because we have 2 parts. We have a mother and a father. So in order to know the complete picture, we have to have both and where both of them come from. And we can celebrate both of them.
Is this something that you would share with your future kids one day?
Of course, girl. I already told my daughter, did you know I'm from the car people? She said, Mama, what is that?
But did she subscribe to the channel?
She did not. But it's coming. Comment, like, subscribe.
All right, going down to below, under yonder, over y'all. Alan, what has been the role of identity in navigating the education system?
Pause. Alan, go. I love that.
Being an African American by title and by paperwork, I feel as though like I've settled for many years on that being my identity, that being my history. And upbringing from middle school through high school, we were in programs that taught us about ourselves, and we had statues in our home that were not necessarily about us, but it showed us an African culture outside of our immediate world. So I feel as though this patriarchal discovery of our identity, this is going to give us a better picture of who we are, a better picture of identity, a better picture of where we come from, in order to move forward. Like Adrian was just saying, the Sankofa, it's looking back while moving forward. And I believe that we're going to be able to utilize this newfound discovery of our identity in order to better, move throughout life in the educational system as well as in other areas of our lives.
We did go to a lot of Sankofa meetings.
Yeah, Sankofa.
But I really want to get the wording right. It's not patriarchy or patriarchal. That's like a different thing, right? We can just say our paternal lineage.
Paternal is what I was trying to say.
Paternal lineage.
Or we could say our daddy's side.
Oh, it could just be blood. Daddy's side. The pappy side.
Very beautifully put when it comes to just basically how you present and navigate yourself. I want to just take a look at the attire that's presented. We all show a sense of where we came from in our physical exterior. When it comes to culture, culture makes a big part of how the African American dresses him or her or she or his or they or them. And I want to I just want to say, how has identity and culture played a part in how we express ourselves and show a sense of identity and pride?
I'll try to address that with the attire that I'm wearing right now. Growing up through school, I've always tried to express the Nigerian side of it, being that most of my friends were Nigerian. I'm currently wearing a Nigerian piece of garb, which I'm assuming our paternal history will tell us about. I've identified as Nigerian, American, Black American for many years among my friend groups. Is this right? Or should I be wearing something else? And I'm proud of whatever I discovered.
Asserting yourself and identity, how does that play a role in navigating careers?
I don't know if it necessarily always comes up. It might come up in subtle ways, but I think cultural sensitivity is a big part of that, right? Especially in Hollywood and stuff. How many times have you watched a project and like, there are no, Latinx writers in the writer's room, or there are no Black producers, or the casting director wasn't inclusive enough. So that's just one industry, but any job, I think it's important you are from a minority or from a particular identity group, not even a minority, where it's important to recognize the different ways that group would express themselves and respect and have honor on a particular topic. And you know that, and it's not being acknowledged, and you need to do what you can to speak up and communicate that disrespect is taking place, and also help them reach better way of operating that's more ethical. But as far as the daily, like if you're working in corporate America and it's lunchtime, like, yeah, this is not necessary. You don't have to get the African American cuisine every time you go, or soul food, or every song doesn't have to be, your style or whatever. That's the beauty of multiculturalism. There are areas where your cultural background will be more salient.
That's our version of dropping the mic.
What a mouthful. And on that note, I want to just throw out to everyone, what new gained perspective does this new information bring?
I feel as though when we found out the Dakar portion from our maternal ancestry, I then began investigating the culture, as I'm sure many of you have as well. But I feel as though once we know what direction to look, the focus area, we can kind of dive more into it and appreciate it more and just learn more. If we don't know where to look, we can often look at things that are outside of our scope, outside of our paradigm, and kind of lose track of our focus. But if we know an area or direction to look, I feel as though this information will give us a direction to look for our ancestry to kind of be a pinpoint to a new appreciation, a new kind of area of knowledge that we can appreciate, a new appreciation from this new knowledge that we can kind of look and investigate into.
I think the main thing that we get out of it is, it's like if life were a video game, this is just another level to uncovering something about our past. This is just another level. So when we find out what our paternal lineage is from, who our daddy side is, that's just another level. That doesn't tell you that his name was Tobe or Kim or Kunta Kinte. It just uncovers just another layer, another fold of the onion that we have to keep going if we want to create a family tree and the cultures that we try to include in our lives going forward.
What are some spaces that haven't been filled by not knowing these results? I feel like a sense of clarity in how I make decisions and how I just take charge and take initiative.
I don't feel like I grew up with a lack of culture. I feel like Black American culture is so rich. and so wonderful and amazing that I don't feel like, oh yeah, I don't have a culture, or I don't have a garb or a type of food or a way to speak, because we all know that like Black American culture has those things, right? So it's not like, oh, like I grew up with a lack. If anything, it's just the elders, right? It's just the passed down history. It's just to know what was the starting point. Where did we come from? And I think it's a sweet and wonderful cherry on top.
Many cultures have fusions. When you think of Mexican culture, you might think of a sombrero, you might think of elote, you might think of Tejano music, you might think of salsa dancing or merengue dancing. All of those things are Mexican, right? Wrong. Those things have African influence. Those things are indigenous. You know, Mexico isn't right. That's a national reference. It's an ethnicity. It's not a race. So when you add in, you know, race, you know, part of their lineage is settlers, colonizers. And when you add in the different people that have immigrated to the country and the fact that pretty much everybody's influenced by Africa, it's a fusion as well. And I'm just using it as one example. To us, Asian cultures and stuff, Asian American cultures and stuff, you probably have more seeming uniformity and like a sense of like not as concentrated as far as pulling from different cultures. But the truth is, in Asia, you still have indigenous cultures there. You still have classism. You still have different economic structures. So that brings about differences in the way culture
influences from the Japanese, from the Chinese, from colonization.
Exactly. I mean, I think of Pachinko, which is a popular book right now. Pachinko was written by a Korean American, but Pachinko is actually a Japanese reference. And as you know, a lot of Koreans were unfortunately forced to live in Japan. So those cultures inevitably, as the decades went on, fused greatly. I don't think that just because Black American culture, to the point, is a quote unquote fusion, which it is, you know, African, French, Spanish, Native, and then uniquely American in and of itself.
Fusion is the American.
Is necessarily something that we should look at as lesser than or devaluing, or even just like maybe not as dynamic as other more quote unquote like pure cultures or hard-lined cultures, because it's a culture that influences the entire world in a very contemporary, real, and tangible way.
Yeah, and I just think of it like gumbo, right? From our different culture. Like gumbo wouldn't be gumbo if it was just crab legs, you know, or just sausage. I mean, I don't know the historical context, but I feel like we created it. And like
gumbo is from slavery. Yeah, uniquely American.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that it's like those bits of us that are Senegalese, and those bits of us that are Ghanaian, and those bits of us that are Nigerian, and those bits of us that are Cameroonian. Those are all the things that come in to make us who we are, to make Black cultures, like shouting in church. There are different tribes that used to do things like that in their dances and their spirituality and different things. So
shouting and the expression of worship is directly African. Yeah. That's directly tied to our lineage.
For sure.
But what I will say is overall, Elma, I tend to lean towards you in the sense that while I do love Black American culture, I think knowing our actual father heritage, and when I say father here, I don't mean in a patriarchal sense, I mean in the sense of the origins of our history and our ethnicity is huge, you know, and it creates a great sense of pride. Like I can move forward to say, you know, I'm a part of now conversations that I never had access to be a part of ever in life. And the way that people hold up their outside, and we're all American, we're a melting pot, but there's still a lot of, you know, pride in the countries of origin, right? So we know what a Mexican flag looks like. We know what a Korean, a Japanese flag looks like. You know, we know what a Jamaican flag looks like. Well, now we can when we go to Carnival, we can pull out our Takar, you know, our Cameroon or Nigerian flag and say, hey, this is where we're from, you know? So and it's not, and that's funny, right? But I mean, like, you could even look at the phenotypes and
the scientific implication or the biological implications, I should say. Even particularly, we touched on worship, but even in particular ways, our specific ethnicity, I don't want to say tribes because that's kind of a tricky word, but like our specific ethnicities from Nigeria and Takar and was it Cameroon? Takar's in Cameroon, yeah, the region in Cameroon. All of that, like, it's now going to help us understand like how we move as a people, you know, because we are Black American, but we're also African. As much as language, ethnicity, and culture at large comes into play, like as much as you encounter and engage with it on a day-to-day basis, that's how much learning your history is relevant. So we're just multi-ethnic. That's all. And one doesn't eclipse the other. So I agree, it's a sweet cherry, but we're multi-ethnic, and so that's a beautiful thing, I think.
Just to be clear, we may find out that side of our line, our genetic trait, is not Africa, which I hope it is.
That just adds to it, though. It's not like we will no longer be Takar.
Yeah,
we're still going to be Takar. We're still going to be Nigerian. We're still going to be Cameroonian.
Yeah, it just means that the thing that was passed down was not.
Okay, y'all, I'm ready to get to it.
Let's get it.
Welcome to African Ancestry Family. Your results are here.
Y'all ready? Here we go.
Okay, that's it. Takar again.
Oh my God. From Gabon?
Gabon, like it's French.
I'm pretty sure that Cameroon and Gabon is right next to each other, and I've heard Gabon in this household several times.
It probably is French, but that doesn't give us a
bang.
They're a French-speaking country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't give us an indication of the pronunciation because different French ethnicities.
No, I don't know what the Fang people. Oh, the Fang people in Gabon today. Okay. Just compared your Y chromosome to those from people around the world and found a 100% match to samples from the Fang people in Gabon today. Your sequence similarity score of 100% reflects our level of confidence in the accuracy of your match. Wow.
Did we have 100% with Takar?
No.
We didn't.
This whole letter looks different. Wow, we real Gabon.
Yeah, so we need to start learning some French.
No,
that's the colonizer.
No colonizers.
Yes, that is the colonizers' language. Lord forgive me, but I do not know what I do.
Fang? I've never heard of Fang.
Central Africa, next to the Congo.
I'm still amazed that it's 100%. Like that's
crazy. Actually,
if those are not Big Allen's lips, I don't know what they are.
They look like Alice.
Big Allen is our father, by the way. Okay.
Cameroon right next to us.
Coastal. Boy, they got us right from the coast, boy. Just ran in and snatched us.
Alan must be navigating the computer.
When you start clicking on the buttons, your brain kind of like teleports to another place, to Gabon. And I'm like, wait, where?
The Fang, a Bantu-speaking people, occupy southern Cameroon. So we just Cameroon all over. All of us. No.
Southern Cameroon and northern Gabon. So, Ellen, you might as well just take them Nigerian clothes right on.
Well, first of all,
don't take it off.
No, Ellen, we still part Nigerian. It's okay. It's okay.
Don't take it off.
Just because that's not our tribe line doesn't mean
we're still Nigerian. These places are like
right
subterranean.
Y'all want to be Nigerian so bad.
The facts are the facts.
How much Nigerian?
27.
For me, it was 35.
30 something.
Adrian, what the ancestry shows is the dominance of traits in lineage, like biological traits in lineage. It's not necessarily saying this is only your makeup. So we're still all of that. This is just what's most prevalent. And Maydell was like majority Nigerian. So we belong to 3 countries at this point, 3 African countries. Did you have any significant percentages in other countries?
No. After Nigeria and Cameroon, the biggest percentage is if you take all the white people.
All the white people.
All the white people. It's a lot of white people in our lines. We got
Damn, they really just pillaged our line.
Scandinavian, British, Irish, French, German. One Native American person all the way far back.
All those times they kept saying we was Native American.
There's at least one of them 500 years ago.
Ooh, Elma, was yours different from Madel's, or was it kind of the same?
It updates every day.
Yeah, it changes a lot. The more samples they get, the more specific they can get. Like originally, I was only like 22% Nigerian.
This is the largest ethnic group in Equatorial Guinea at Gabon and South Tomé and Principe. Oh,
she's reading the caption.
I want to know what they dance like. Oh, they were in the
See the way they do their right foot? I already know Elm planning her next TikTok.
That was beautiful.
It looked like some 70s dancing.
Same kind of attire too. Fluffy skirt. Like this. Oh.
I actually think I went to one of these when I was in Rwanda. Maybe the same show. It looks very familiar.
Cameroon. Awesome. As you move forward in life, learn as much as you can about these countries.
Not the countries. Fang
The
tribe.
people.
No,
Car
countries.
tribe.
I'm sure those tribes are still in those countries
Read
today.
all the traffic signs. Always look before you cross the street. No, for real. They always have history. Like history is on the pavement. How's the road? Is the pavement?
Yeah, Elma, did you just wake up?
Press stop record. Look at the camera and say goodbye on 3.
Wait,
One,
wait,
two,
wait, which
3.
Gabon. Thank you all for joining us for our tribe meals. We have now learned that on our mother's side, we have Tikar heritage from Cameroon. And on our father's side is Fang heritage from Gabon. We have a lot to learn, a lot of ways to grow and invite those cultures into our hearts and into our futures. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Wiz.
Hey, 5, 5. If you black, we are sick. We don't.